It's time for Speechcraft Fundamentals 7, and we are on a roll. So far you've learned about your message, your structure, your points, and how to open your speech. Today is the beginning of the end, because in this video we are going to start talking about how to wind down your speech, and it has something to do with dice. Did you think I had them just for that roll pun off the top? You may be familiar with the casino game Craps. That's where you bet on the outcome of a dice roll. And the number 7 is an interesting one. Sometimes rolling a 7 can be really good for you. Sometimes rolling a 7 can be really bad for you. It all depends on when you roll a 7. Roll it at the right time, it can pay off. Roll it at the wrong time, it can cost you everything. There's something exactly like that in the speaking world. There's something you can do in your speech that if you do it at the wrong time, it can cost you everything, but if you do it at the right time, it can be pretty good. And that thing is the question and answer period, the Q&A. Let me be clear here. I'm not saying don't do a Q&A period. I'm saying don't end your presentation with Q&A. I've seen a lot of speakers build a really nice presentation and then the last thing they do is Q&A. That's a bad idea. It is fundamentally a bad idea. In this video, you're going to learn why it's a bad idea in theory, and you're going to learn 3 ways that a Q&A at the end can go horribly, horribly wrong. These are 3 ways that I have seen speakers crap out. Why is ending with Q&A such a bad idea in theory? Because your audience is more likely to remember what they hear last. So you want to control what they hear last. Make sure the last thing they hear is your message, not thoughts about the Q&A, especially when the Q&A can go so horribly, horribly wrong. How can a Q&A go wrong? I'm glad I asked. Anytime you do a Q&A session, you are giving up control. You don't know what's going to happen. You are rolling the dice, as it were. What happens if nobody in your audience has a question? Picture that. You're doing your speech. It's going really well. You have your big finish and then, all right, thank you very much. I will now take questions from the audience. Who's got a question? Anybody? Anybody at all? Any questions about anything? All right, I guess you're free to go then. You don't want to go out like that. You had the energy level of the audience up here with your conclusion, and then Q&A brought the energy level all the way down here. Here's a novel idea for you. That big ending, save it for the end. That way, if the energy level comes down with the Q&A, you can bring it back up and send the audience home happy with thoughts of your message instead of memories of silence is actually the best way your Q&A session can go wrong. If your audience speaks, it could get much, much worse. What if you get asked a question that you don't know the answer to? Somebody honestly stumps you. Perfectly honest question, but it exposes your ignorance. Leaves you standing there. That's a really good question. Let me look into it and get back to you. Anybody else have a question? Please somebody say something. No, I guess we're done here then. You really want to send the audience home with that memory in their head? That's the part they're going to remember. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go out like that. Take the audience back, do your strong conclusion, and send them home with that memory instead. You want to know the worst way I saw a Q&A ever go? Strap yourself in. This is a big one. I was at a networking event once for entrepreneurs. So people were talking about their web development, their social media marketing, their branding photography, all that good stuff. A guy was doing a presentation on his software suite, how it can help your business. He did a pretty good job, but he ended with his Q&A. And the last question turned out to be from one of his competitors. She asked a question, he answered it, and then she stomped all over his answer and proceeded to trash his software suite, his product, and then promoted her own product. And that was all he had time for. They had to pull him off the stage after that. He went off the stage with somebody else hijacking his presentation for her agenda. And since that's the last thing the audience heard, that's what they remembered. Talk about crapping out. Don't let somebody else hijack your time for their own agenda. Make sure you get the last word. Someone may be out to hijack your presentation for their own agenda. Don't say it can't happen. I watched it happen, and I watched in horror. Don't let them get the last word. Make sure the last thing the audience hears is you talking about your message. And you do that by planning your presentation in such a way that you don't end with Q&A, you end with your conclusion. That's why you never plan a presentation so that it ends with Q&A. Your audience is more likely to remember something if they hear it last. So you don't want the last thing they hear to be silence. You don't want the last thing they hear to be you stumped. You don't want the last thing they hear to be you hijacked. You want the last thing they hear to be your message. This is way too important for you to roll the dice on. So don't end with Q&A. Make sure you end with your conclusion. As I said at the start of this video, this is the beginning of our discussion on closing your speech. There is more to be said on that topic, and I will say it. So keep it tuned here to lastrites.com for more speaking tips. That's last-writes.com. If you follow me on social media or sign up for my email list, you will be notified of new videos as they are made available. And together we, that's you and I, we will lay boring speeches to rest by giving them the last rites.